So the first question I would like to ask you is, why is the heart so important? I think it's because the spirit lives there, but of course we would like to know what you think of that.
Well, spirit is both immanent and transcendent. In all wisdom traditions, the idea is that the spirit, real home of the spirit is non-local, which is beyond space and time. But it also expresses itself locally in space-time. And yes, in most spiritual traditions, the heart is the entry point of the transcendent spirit into the world of space-time and locality. The heart is a physical organ, which is a pump, but 70% of the heart cells are what are called neurocardiocytes. So while the heart pumps blood, it also secretes the molecules of emotion. In other words, your heart is structurally different in different states of consciousness. If you're living in fear, the heart structure is very different than if you're living in love, or compassion, or kindness, or equanimity. In the great Buddhist tradition, there is a very fundamental principle that all suffering in the world is a result of the socially induced hallucination of the separate self. The separate self does not exist. We are members of one energy field, we are members of one consciousness field, we are members of one breath, which the Jews call the Ruach Adonai, the Muslims call the Ruh, the Greeks call Kanefma, the Hindus call Brahman. So we are one consciousness which is contained in the mind of the divine. And when we forget that, then we suffer. When we remember that, then we have spontaneous divine attributes. These are loving kindness, compassion, equanimity, and joy at the success of others. The more successful other people are, the more you feel happy because you feel you are part of them and they are part of you. And when you put your attention on the heart and even think these words, you contemplate on joy, on peace, on happiness, on compassion. Contemplation means that you hold the idea in your consciousness while at the same time putting attention in your heart, whether it's on peace or harmony or laughter or love or joy or compassion or kindness, then your heart is structurally different. It shifts. The heart also generates an electromagnetic field which causes every cell in the body to cohere, to fall in alignment with that field, including your brain waves, because the heart has something called a pacemaker, which requires 100 cells to synchronistically fire in order for a healthy heart to function. The more we are feeling a sense of connection with sentient beings and life on the planet as part of the ecosystem, the healthier your heart will be. In fact, now there are studies that the number one risk factor for premature death from cardiovascular disease is hostility and resentments and what is called cynical mistrust.